The following podcast contains spoilers and adult language. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey, it's Drew Powell, Butch from TV's Gotham, and you are listening to the Showdown Podcast.
Frosty the Snowman.
It's a holiday classic for the whole family. The durable dude made of snow.
Frosty the Snowman.
And he's way cool Wednesday.
A magical reindeer brings a very special Christmas gift for the whole family.
His beak blinks like a blinking beacon.
He's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Thursday.
Hey, jingity jing, it's Dominic the donkey, jingity jing.
Oh, motherfucking Dominic the donkey! God damn it! Oh, I'm gonna murder that fucking donkey.
That joke would have been so much better if you would have sat in silence until I went to you.
No. It actually would have played out if you had just let my rant go.
He'll be, cause reindeer cannot climb the hills of Italy. I was way off.
You're way off.
It's Dominic the donkey. The Italian Christmas donkey. La la la. La 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 la. La la la. La 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 la. Welcome to the Showdown Podcast. That is Vic's favorite Christmas song. And we are, I'm Brad Scott. We are live here at the Miller Zoo. We got this shit's getting crazy. Everybody's stressed out over the holidays. We got fish eating fish. It's insane at the Miller Zoo. We are joined by, to my left here in the Miller Zoo, Corey Miller.
Happy birthday!
Jesus. And live via Skype from White Ass, Delaware, it's the black guy on the show, Vic Miller.
The Black Bumble.
The Black Bumble? How'd you not go Black Panther?
I bounce.
Add that. Basically.
Come on.
So no, at the end of the so here's what we're gonna do. If you guys have listened to the show for a long time, well, who are you and why don't you ever interact with us on social media? But welcome back. If you noticed last week, we did some different things. We're going to be doing some different things. It's kind of what we're going to start doing every year is using December as kind of our trial month where we do Christmas movies, but we're also going to try out new segments, try out new things, see what
do fucking Christmas music. We just do Dominic the fucking donkey. That's all.
Well, okay, it's the last time. It's retired. It's retired.
I can't trust you, Brad. I can't trust you.
Oh, well, I've earned that. But anyway, so yeah, we're going to try some different things today. And if you notice, we're not going to, you've seen the movie, obviously. That's why who would click on a podcast about a movie they haven't seen? Very few people, I would imagine. So we know you've seen the movie. So now we're going to tell you, whether we thought it survived or not right up front. And then we're going to go into maybe the reasons why. And that's where we'll hit the highlights of the movie. And then, what else is going to be new? We're not going to be doing any more of the history segment. We want to see if you guys feel that out. We felt like maybe it was getting a little old, so we'll see how it goes without that. And
I'm losing my segment too.
Bankroll or Bust will be a segment, but it will not be this week because this week we're talking Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman television specials from the
Childhood
40s.
Classics.
It was when I was a teenager.
Yeah, when Corey was a teenager. Yeah, it's what year was it really?
64 and 67.
Thank you, Vic. Which one was 64?
You're welcome. 64 was Rudolph.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and we'll just jump right into it. What did you guys think? Did you think it survived or not? Is it hold up?
Okay. Well, and
let's specify which one we're talking about first.
Which one we're talking about.
Well, I was going to just lump them together, but okay. Frosty, right?
Frosty.
Yeah.
That's what we agreed when we psyched Vic out on the intro music.
25-minute long. It was only 25 minutes long.
Yep. Which was actually... No, wait, hold on. I'm thinking of the other one. Rudolph, they actually extended that from the original. Because now it's like 53 minutes.
Yeah, 51.26.
There we go, something like that. And Frosty, I thought the kids' humongous feet was pretty funny. It's like, why are their feet so big? They got a like elephantitis problem in their families? I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, you like
just
that?
went straight in for the fucking kill. You're getting coal in your goddamn stock.
He said that with more confidence than I've seen him say anything.
Right.
Vic, you may have noticed. Did you notice the voice of Rocky from Bullwinkle?
Yeah.
In the beginning.
Okay.
Who is that?
It was the teacher. But
no, the person that does the voice.
Oh, I don't know her real name.
It's not like you don't have a little box in front of you that you could be looking
I'm on it.
up on, Corey.
Brad's on it. But anyway, he's the one that asked the question.
You're the one that didn't have the answer.
Yeah,
You're supposed to be our fact man, Corey.
Yeah, well, the kids asked really stupid questions, which I didn't bother to write them down, but that's the thing I wrote down. I wondered if
June Foray.
Okay. All right. I wrote that is Frosty a cult leader? Because if you during their little parade, he's like out in front, and they're all just following right along behind him, and he looks like he's about to go serve him some Kool-Aid.
Years later, it comes out that he was having underage girls suck his carrot.
He was kidnapping them and taking them to the North Pole.
Hey,
why was there no Amber Alert for that little Karen girl?
What? I don't remember. Was Professor Hinkle? Was he black?
Yeah, he was the. No, there were no black people.
I didn't think so. Yeah, I was trying to think.
He just had jaundice.
Okay, but you know who did his voice?
No.
Billy D. Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the name of the person. Why did that sounds like
illegitimate cousin?
Well, yes, no, it sounds like the white trash Billy D. Williams. Where he's just like, instead of being like,
it's just PBR.
Well, no, I was gonna say, but it's still Colt 45. It becomes Mad Dog.
Right.
When they got on that train,
Billy D. Wolf.
When they got on the train, the girl goes, "Hey, there's a refrigerated car." How did she know that?
Room for what?
Room for what? When they went and got on the train.
No, what did you just say? What did she say?
She said, "Is that a refrigerated car?" Or that's.
Oh my God! I thought she said there's room for blah blah blah.
No,
I don't think I'm alone in that. Put it on the poll. We'll have a Twitter poll. Did Corey say there's room for a refrigerator? No, wait, whatever.
I said, "Is that a refrigerated car?" She knew that's what it was, and I'm like, "How
do you know she's not a train enthusiast, Corey?"
Oh, that's true. I guess she could have been.
It was 64, 67, man. 67. There wasn't a whole lot of shit to do.
They didn't have a whole lot of shit to do. Exactly.
You know what? Is that why kids aren't into trains anymore? Because there's just so much better shit than trains.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Now it's just old men.
Yeah, like remember though
kids are into old men, Corey? Where the fuck are you going with this conversation?
The trains, you dumbass.
And that's all the kids these days are into, old men. Corey should know. But that's weird. Like when I was a kid, like a kid that was in like model trains was like, it was like somewhat normal. You know what I mean? Like now they'd probably look at that kid and be like, "Oh, it's so sad. You're so poor." I like trains.
Not cheap though, dude. He ain't nothing about being poor because that shit's not cheap.
No, it's
to
not.
Like be a model train enthusiast any these days is not a fucking cheap thing.
Yeah,
those things are expensive.
I was talking about the kid that just has the books. Just looks at pictures of
he has that. He has that one that was sold on as the infomercial. Do you like trains? We've got a book full of trains.
One day I'll have my own train.
How is that industry still alive?
The train industry?
I'm talking about like recreational, like getting place to place, not obviously like industrial.
You mean?
But how are there's still people paying money to ride on a train?
I'll tell you why.
It's still cheaper. Yeah, it's still cheaper and faster if you like commute. Like on the East Coast here, there are people who ride the train from White Ass, Delaware to New York City every day for work because it's still cheaper, faster, and really like it's easier for them to do than driving.
Yeah, there's that, and then there's some people that like to take trips. It's like, oh, you can see the sights, scenery and whatnot, and you don't have to worry about driving.
Seems like a small percentage of people.
Hey,
probably
because nowadays I would assume most people, if they're going to do something like that, they get an RV.
It's probably like older women.
When we finally get bullet trains, it'll probably go back to like
like Elon Musk was talking about.
Hell yeah, we had a bullet train that could get you from Indianapolis to White Ass, Delaware in like 2 hours. I'd fucking be on that shit. I could come back and do the show and then come home. Like it would be that easy. So, like, it's a thing.
Does it feel like we've fallen behind? Like, we had this huge boom of technology and shit from, like, 07 to 2012 or so.
Are you talking straight in the transportation field?
Talking everything. I expected... I'm not going to lie, man. I expected some sort of, like...
Where's the flying cars?
No, I didn't. Self-driving.
Yeah.
Well, they're starting that.
But, I mean, it's there. It's there. It's still in development. But, I mean, you hit these spurts where, like... Because you got to think about, like, when we got microwaves and shit like that, like microwave ovens, that was, like, a huge boom. And there was a lot of shit that kind of stacked up. But then, like, technology evens, like, it kind of plateaus at times, and it takes a while for it to kind of hit that upswing again. Because there isn't really a lot of new technology out there that we don't have access to.
Yeah, I wish they would get fucking that cell phone battery technology on point. You know they have batteries that'll make that shit run for, like, 8 months.
Yeah.
We were like, hey, do you need
they need a kinetic charging system. Like I actually thought about this, and this I know this is gonna I know someone's already got it out there. I'm not gonna make my billions of dollars off of it, but they need a kinetic charging system. So something you put on a case you put on your phone, and as you walk, that thing charges your phone. Like that would be the perfect fucking thing, because then you wouldn't have to worry about whether or not your phone was charged. That shit would be charging all the time.
Yeah, but you know what would suck is if. Like, well, there's two holes in that. One, that means sometimes if your phone is dying, and you're gonna have to like get up and run or do some laps.
You just use it like a shake weight.
Okay, still you're having to shake the damn phone charger, and also that means
it's better than having to find a plug and a cord, right?
Yeah, but that's people. What about people in wheelchairs, Vic?
What about it?
They're going to have to be shaking that thing all the time.
I know, because kinetic energy is caused by any kind of movement. So the vibrations of their fucking thing, not to mention if they're in a wheelchair, they actually have USB plugs on those wheelchairs now, by the way, so they can charge their phone whenever they want. Yeah.
Man, could you imagine having to decide between a text for like, like a one-night stand and your phone dying, but also your wheelchair is dying, and you got enough juice for one thing. Do you text the one night stand, or do you use your wheelchair?
The booty call or motion?
Because you're headed uphill at the time you have this dilemma.
That's when it always happens.
Well, that's what adds the danger and the excitement to the decision. I don't know. I think I'd rather have the 8-month thing, because then it's like, hey, do you need to use my charger? Like, no, I charged mine in February. I'm good. So,
okay. Should we get back to Frosty?
Sure. Bumpity bump bump bumpity bump bump. Look at Corey go. Bumpity bump bump bumpity bump bump, ruining the show.
I like it. I like it a lot. So my things with this was that fucking magician. So I don't know where that teacher got him from, but like, did he like look up cheapest magician possible to hire for that class? Like, there had to have been he had to have known he was a fucking shit magician. But the dude loses his hat, throws it away, right?
Right.
So then the kids get a hold of the hat because of the fucking rabbit, which that rabbit was actually my favorite part of the whole thing. He was a great mime. And they put that on Frosty's head. He's like, "Happy birthday!" Like, all right. So how the fuck? So he didn't know he had a magic hat. Like,
no,
he's just an incompetent magician.
Well, he never put it on a snowman.
Oh, that's what it was.
That was
yeah, that's kind of weird. You feel like, because he made a snowman, right?
Right.
So this is the first year he's ever made a snowman?
It was the kids that did it.
So the kids made the snowman.
Has he ever made a snowman, though?
Apparently not.
Apparently not.
At least not.
But then why does he have the hat?
He was wearing
Why
it.
isn't the fucking bunny like magical? Why isn't the bunny magical? The bunny was wearing the fucking hat. Nothing happened with the bunny. The bunny
was already alive. It just makes it just makes inanimate objects alive.
Oh, so if it falls on the floor, it'll turn the floor alive? What the fuck?
Yep. Then it just turns into a horror movie.
You have to prep the floor, like put a mouth and eyes on it in order for it. Like, there's a lot left open there, Corey. There's a lot left open for interpretation.
Well, here's
yeah.
Go ahead.
Good. So my other thing, I wrote down like a little list of miscellaneous shit, and then we'll move on. But so that magician, which I'm going to harp on him a little bit, they take off and they're like going to the North Pole, and the little girl, like I said, there's no Amber Alert. Like, nobody cares that Karen's missing.
No.
Because apparently in the 60s, it's okay for like a little grade school girl to go up missing with a She's walked off with a live snowman. Everyone knows she's done it, but no one tried to stop her. Like, this is a bad idea, Karen. But that fucking magician has, like, GPS before everybody else, because he finds them in the fucking woods after they jumped off the train at God knows what point. Like, how the hell did he know where they were?
No, it would have been great if it's like he's burying a body and he just oh, yeah, I knew you guys were here. I followed you.
So, Brad, you'll be impressed with this. I think you'll really like this idea. So they find that greenhouse, right?
Of course.
And he's like, oh, you can go in there. You can get warm. I know what they were really growing in that greenhouse.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
In the middle of the winter. And it's like, yeah, we're growing we're growing Christmas plants.
Actually, though, Vic,
that's the ticket.
I mean, if you know anything, Frosty the Snowman deals in something a little higher than marijuana.
Well, they did start it off by
bumpity bump bumps, bumpity bump bumps. Look at me go!
Makes everyone happy and jolly. And
bumpity bump bump, bumpity bump bump. Frosty loves his blow. Frosty the Snowman. Kids, I'm fucking magic. Suck this carrot. Karen! Kids, I'm gonna go fuck your teacher.
Jesus.
Why, Frosty? Because I got unlimited blow, baby. Fuck this. Frosty's going to the titty club.
Hey,
Snort my back.
You got a little something under your carrot.
Go ahead.
My last thing was, so Santa finally shows up and, like, gives this dick what for, like, the magician. And he's like, yeah, bitch, I'm not giving you any more Christmas presents if you don't stop fucking with Frosty, because that's my boy. And he's like, I want you to go home and write 100 zillion times.
Which seems unreasonable, to be honest.
Well, I mean, I have to say, especially since you had to do it in, like, one night, because Santa was already flying around delivering presents. He had to get it done before he actually delivered his presents. I'm like, damn, that is some fucked up shit. I remember as a kid, like, having that punishment, not fucking 1 zillion, but I remember having to fucking sit down and write shit, like, I will not do something or another, like a thousand fucking times. That shit sucked, but I can only imagine 100 zillion. And he's like, I'm going to go do this right now. Yay. Because I want more magic cards. The bitch has no magic ability. He needs a job. He needs a resume. That's what Santa should have got him for Christmas.
I had one more thing. When they were in the greenhouse, why didn't they just go out the door? He shut the door.
Mean?
He shut the door on him so that Frosty would melt. But why didn't they just go right back out the door? It wasn't locked, and they were on the inside.
I mean, Karen was like 4.
I'm like,
he's like the jaundice monster outside wants to kill us. So I'm gonna stay in here where it's warm.
Because she was too dumb. She got Frosty killed, and then he was reincarnated.
Well, that's because Santa's magic.
Do we want to?
Would it have been great if Frosty came back as a zombie?
Yeah.
Just started eating one of the kids.
He just started biting people's heads.
For all you artists out there, there's an idea for you.
Frosty the Zombie.
Yeah, Frosty the Zombie. Do we want to go ahead and wait to the very end to say if they both go in at the same time, or
no? Let's just do that because we forgot to do it before. We talked about it.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and give the results for that, and then we'll give the results for Rudolph and go into it.
Okay. So Brad?
No.
Nah. Vic?
I'm on the fence because it wasn't bad. Like, we've watched shit that was just like, oh my god, this fucking sucks to get through. But this story is like so old. It's like it's 25 minutes of my life that I don't regret. So I'm gonna, you know what? Yes, it makes it.
Well, I was gonna say no, and then Vic started to sway me. But I'm still going to say no.
God damn you.
Sorry, Frosty.
No.
We're cleaning up the neighborhood.
Yeah, and actually I'm going to have to update my best Christmas movie list now because of that. All right, Rudolph.
Hold on. Where was it on your list before?
Yeah, it was like 20 or something. Yeah, I was running out of ideas. I was like, what other Christmas movie can I throw in here? All right, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Go ahead. What do you think?
Well, let me see here. There's dumb songs. A lot of dumb songs I could have done without. Just shorten this up. Could have been a half hour.
You do realize the whole point we were going to do was for us to give the results, then talk about.
No, because there's other stuff too.
Yes, no, or whatever.
Yeah, like you're going to give your, you're going to cream your jeans before we even get to the to this.
No, that's fair.
Right.
It'll be fair and balanced.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I had no idea.
I said we call him on his bullshit.
I had no idea that Rudolph was Donner's kid. Did you guys know that?
I don't think that's official. Probably just for the movie.
No.
You know,
we don't have his actual his tree, his family tree.
This was like the graphic novel version of it. It's based on the graphic novel, not the bullshit the mainstream.
It's not canon. It's not canon.
Christmas was canceled because of the weather.
I mean, if Santa can't get out and get the presents delivered, Corey, then how are you going to have Christmas?
Shit, fucking the mail can even get canceled because of fucking snow.
By the way, very materialistic view on Christmas.
Right, yeah, very much so.
Oh, we don't get shit? Fuck it.
He still has not answered the question. Do you know this, right?
What?
No, let him go, Vic, because I want him to blow his entire load so that when we try to go to him after we've given our results, he has nothing. Go ahead, continue. With your spread out notes.
I've only got a few things here. Why was Cornelius...
Wait. Then that would have been even more of a reason to wait.
All right, fine.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead. Keep this up. No, go exactly how you were going to go. This will be interesting to see how it plays out.
I was just going to ask why Cornelius licks his axe.
Why what?
Licks his axe. Cornelius.
Because when you stab, he wants to make sure that it's not too cold. If his tongue sticks to the axe, then it's too cold.
Dude, I thought you said ass. And I was like, I don't remember that part.
This would have been a much better movie.
Okay, Vic, do you have any thoughts?
Silver and gold. Silver and gold.
So, well, okay. I'm still a little confused as to whether or not he's supposed to be answering this question,
What?
Brad. Like, he still hasn't answered the question.
What
He's
question?
just, like, pushing it to me.
Wait, did you just ask Vic what he thought?
Yeah.
Of the movie?
Yeah.
You didn't tell us whether it survived or not for you.
Thank fucking God.
What show are you on?
Fine.
Does it make it, Brad?
No, it doesn't make it for me.
It does not?
Right.
No.
Okay, for me it does because it's a childhood classic. And go ahead, Vic. We'll get into that. That's how it's supposed to go.
For me, it also makes it.
So it survives.
Because of the silliness and, again, the childhood nostalgia of that particular cartoon. So it survives. It is a survivor.
I know.
Now, Corey.
Yes.
The reason why it survives for
This
me.
new format has my brain all flustered.
Well, no, here's the thing, though, Corey. It wasn't that difficult. Like we said, we're going to say our decision beforehand and then talk about why we thought. Like that was going to be the whole thing was we were going to basically flip that part.
That's what confused
and you were on board with it. And then, no, that's fine.
We literally...
But we explained it to you at the beginning and told you why we wanted you to give your reason for whether it made it or not. And you said, nah, I got this.
The last time we let you drive the fucking train.
So, okay. Now, so now that we have all three of our decisions, you know what? Let's start with Corey.
Yes.
Give us your thoughts on why it didn't survive. Your long list of things that you're spreading out.
I just thought it was funny that Santa lived in a castle.
Okay. It is a little strange.
Come on, he's Santa.
No, that's a little strange. It's like, come on, dude. You're saying, maybe like a nice house connected to a warehouse I could understand.
Yeah.
But I picture more Santa living in like a small, you always think of like a small suburban house.
Suburban house.
In my mind, I picture Santa in a fucking plantation house since he has all the damn slaves that he forces around. So.
Only one of us can talk about this, Rick. Especially nowadays.
Some things have to be brought to the surface.
So you think you think slavery was the undertones of this movie?
Dude, that's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was.
Well, no. Here's the thing. It's probably. I bet the original. They had to change the original. He didn't want to be a dentist. He wanted to go to the NBA. or he's just walking around the movie talking. Here, take out my mixtape.
He wanted a small farm, 40 acres and a mule. That's all he wanted.
I thought it was funny though that the monster loses his teeth, and so they're not afraid of him anymore.
He didn't lose his fucking teeth. That psycho fucking dentist ripped them all out of his head with a pair of pliers.
Well, yeah.
There was no losing. They were taken from him.
But they're like, oh, you don't have your teeth anymore? All right, we're cool. Then we'll hang out, even though you're like 80 feet above us.
So let me tell you this. This is why this movie made it for me. And it's not because of, not so much it's just the childhood like nostalgia of it, but I literally saw this movie in a completely different light. And it was cracking me the fuck up the entire time I was watching it. Because, okay, first of all, you have Jaime who wants to be a dentist. He doesn't want to make toys, right?
Right.
Like the slave driver, like the foreman of the elves is like, fuck you, you're going to make toys. If you don't like it, to hell with you. Santa's going to hate you. Like, this is literally like the strictest, most fucked up thing I've seen in a while. And then, so Santa's like, we're running a sweatshop. The elves are all like, Santa, we love you. We made you a song. They sing it, and he's like, your shit sucks. Keep your day job. Oh, that's right. You have no choice because you're slaves. And then he walks the fuck out.
By the way, Hermie was actually smart.
What do you mean?
I bet all those fucking elves eat is candy canes and fucking drink hot cocoa. He's like, I want to be a fucking dentist. I am going to bank.
What are they going to pay him in?
Candy cane and hot cocoa.
He just keeps recycling He's like, here, thanks for the candy cane. Here's another. Let me fix your teeth. Here's
you know what? That is true. What kind of money are you going to make, Hermie? And if you do make the money, where are you going to fucking spend it?
Right.
No. Santa has a website. I get 10% off for working here.
Etsy site.
Did everyone order one of Mrs. Claus' handbags?
Did you notice Santa? Did you hear Santa quote Superman?
We've already taken it out of your check.
Santa said, "Up, up, and away." Wasn't that a Superman thing?
It was 1964.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, yeah, it was, but
maybe like the Supermans they showed before movies. You know,
yeah, the
like
black and white
when you were entering adulthood.
Yeah.
You know, like
I was about 30 or so.
Yeah, the cereals, is that what they called them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. The cereals. Dude, so another one, I'm still trying to figure out how the fuck Rudolph and Jaime knew the same, or Hermie knew the same song at the same time.
They only have one song.
They had no idea who each other were because they met each other on the snowbank after they were both jilted and set aside by their peers.
Yeah, there's only one song in that area of the North Pole, so everybody knows it.
I would have liked so much better for this ending, though, if, like, instead of, like, you know, teaching the kids the good message about be yourself and that's who everyone will accept anyways, if it would have been like, Rudolph would have been like, fuck y'all. I ain't going out and shit. It's cold.
You're talking shit about me the whole time.
Really gonna kick me out of the goddamn town? Kick me out of the town.
Here's the thing. I have always thought that the song was a bad song.
Which song?
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh, okay. Why?
Because all it does is, you know, they talk about how everybody makes fun of it.
It's a bully's anthem.
Yeah, basically.
It's like, we're going to bully this. Like, in this day and age.
And now he's going to do...
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer would be like an anti-bullying show. They're like, okay, we need you to watch this to understand that bullying is not right.
I think you guys are wrong. I think it's a story of redemption.
No, because
he gets bullied, but then he's he's the star at the end of the song.
Yeah, and then like, oh, okay, yeah, everything, yeah, we like you now.
No, but he's the star at the end of the song only because Santa decided, oh, that's right, I forgot about your red ass nose.
He didn't know. Santa didn't know.
I'll use you. For
he was hiding it.
Game.
He didn't know.
What?
I bet you that reindeer instructor got fired. Really, dude? We've never had a headlight before, and you thought maybe, for the one time, we have to go to fucking Afghanistan, and then you say, oh, yeah, we got a built-in headlight? Yeah, doesn't even need batteries? Nah, let's ostracize them and, exile them.
Yeah.
Well, smart move, Bill.
Need him at the time.
You know what, Bill? This is the last thing,
like,
okay? You've been coming in late. You've been taking long lunches. There's some whispers that you've been inappropriate with some of the younger female reindeer. I think it's just how we gotta let you go.
Look, even Rudolph's dad was a dick throughout the movie. He's like, here, put this black shit on your nose because I don't want you to be you. Don't be yourself. I need you to be like everybody else.
Then
don't be independent and different because I don't want to be shamed by all the other reindeer. So
they exile Bill, and then all of a sudden Bill finds out that his balls glow. Santa's like, damn it!
We need you to be the caboose.
Why do we keep kicking useful people out of this town? That's why we're all stuck at the North Pole making goddamn toys.
We need you to follow the sleigh so when we stop, that shit lights up. But look, this movie was also about straight up murder because after they take that poor fucking abominable snowman's teeth out, fucking Cornelius drops him off a fucking cliff.
He lives.
Yeah, he lived at the end.
Oh yeah, that's only because Bumbles bounce.
Yeah, but that wouldn't.
If it wasn't for that,
but that wouldn't be murder.
Dude, he knocked him off a cliff.
That's attempted murder. He has to die for it to be murder, Vic.
Yeah.
You can't murder someone who's alive.
Everybody else was like, they just fell off the cliff. They're dead. Let's go. So as far as anyone else knew, they were dead. And so,
but then he was alive.
But yes, it's attempted murder. If you watch enough CSI, you might understand this.
Attempted. It's a movie about attempted murder.
Thank you.
Either way, he would be going to court and probably jail for attempting to murder that thing. And then I'd be pissed. If I was that abominable snowman, I would just be going ham on all of them. I'd be like using the elves to crush other elves. Be like, pull my fucking teeth out, see what happens.
By the way, another story of cocaine.
Yeah, that Bumble was all kinds of jacked up.
No, I'm talking about Rudolph with his red nose.
Hey, Rudolph.
Who gave this to you? Frosty the Snowman.
Dude, but that's the narrator was just Frosty when he got old. He went up there and started dealing it at the North Pole.
I used to have a manager at Best Buy, one of the supervisors. He was the supervisor of like all the inventory and shit like that, like the backroom stuff.
Yeah.
His name was Jim.
Okay.
Looked exactly like the snowman from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I mean, exactly. And so I would always like walk out and just like, silver and gold, silver and gold.
Did you know what you're talking about?
Oh, yeah. He'd heard it before.
Dude, did you notice that even from a young age, fucking Rudolph was a Mac? He had the girls after him like right off the bat. He was like, hello, Clary. All over that shit.
Well, yeah, because he had a lot of blow.
She's like, I know who my daddy is. She was all in, like right from the start.
All right, you guys ready to try out a new segment?
All right, let's do it.
Vic, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, this is a new segment we're trying out. It's the coach's breakdown. It's where Chuck Pagano is going to give you a breakdown of what he thinks of the movie or movies that we're talking about. So here's Chuck Pagano. Thank you for that introduction. I don't know why I sound a little bit like Elvis, but here to talk about a couple films, a couple holiday classics. Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph the Reindeer with the Red Nose. Now, these are two classic films, and one thing I gotta say is I noticed both of the protagonists. Corey, you know what that is? That's the lead character in a movie.
Yes, it is.
It's the person you're supposed to cheer for, right?
Yep.
Well, both these characters were on the cocaine.
They were.
So I don't know if I could cheer for them. But you know what they did do? Here's the thing. Rudolph got thrown out of his town, exiled, if you will. And you know what he did?
What'd he do?
He stayed in his lane. He did his job. He chopped wood. And then he led Santa's sleigh. That's a win.
What did he do to stay in his lane?
Chopped wood. He did his job. That's Frosty. Frosty, he was in all types of lanes, wasn't he? Wasn't he in all types of, he was just all over the place. But then at the end, buckled down, he melted. You know why? Because heat melts snow.
That's
and
very
it's a fact.
true.
I checked. I wasn't sure either, but I checked. Heat melts snow. So Frosty, being that he was a man of snow, did not do well in a, room temperature classroom. He melted, Corey.
No.
Right there, in front of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It was sad. But guess who saved the day?
Who?
Jacoby Brissett.
Did he now?
Yeah, he came through and used a little magic. And all of a sudden, what do you know? The bumpity bump bump, there go Frosty go. And you know how he took care of that? You know how he created that magic?
No.
He stayed in his lane. He did his job. He chopped wood.
I thought it might have been the cocaine.
He chopped wood too?
But cocaine helps you chop the wood and stay in your lane and do your job.
Yeah.
Especially if your job is to sell cocaine. Then cocaine's probably going to be something you need to be in that line of work, I would imagine. It would be tough to be a cocaine dealer with no cocaine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Groundhog Day, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They're driving that truck off the cliff.
So, Coach, who's your MVP in the game?
Oh, between Frosty and the Rudolph?
Yes.
I think I'm gonna go with Frank Gore. He's a veteran. He knows what he's doing. He stayed in his lane. He did his job, and he chopped wood. I think that's it for me. I don't know if this segment worked or not. But
thanks for stopping by. Coach.
I'm gonna get out of here. So
Okay.
I'll see you guys later.
Okay, bye.
Forgot my keys. Just forgot my keys. Keys start the car, Corey.
Oh, okay.
You go in the ignition.
You didn't have a driver?
Ignition was a song by R. Kelly, but I'm talking about a physical item that's inside of a vehicle.
You didn't have a driver?
Vehicles have four tires.
Yeah.
I had cancer.
So
that's the end of the segment. It ends with I had cancer. Thank you. And with that, we'll be right back. We're going to be talking some comic book trailers. And we're going to be talking Vic back home. And then I have a surprise question for the guys. All right. You're listening to the Showdown Podcast.
We will return to Frosty the Snowman after these messages.
It's commercial time. You can find me at bradscottcomedy.com. Links to social media on there as well. Corey?
You can find me on Twitter and Letterboxd at NKOGonzo.
Vic?
You can find me at MillerKing51 on social media and Black and Angry, that's BLAQ and Angry on all gaming platforms.
And check out WrestleMania, Corey and I's professional wrestling themed podcast focused on comedy. Comes out every week, recapping the week in professional wrestling, the funniest moments, and the most interesting stories. Also, check out...
You can check out the Miller Times podcast. That's where Vic and I take a look at some of the shows we're watching. Currently, we're watching Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Gotham. Is that all of them?
Yeah.
I think it's all of them.
All right, we'll get back to the show.
You know Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen, but do you recall?
Motherfucker.
It's Dominic the donkey, jingity jing, the Italian Christmas donkey.
La 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 la. Welcome back.
I hate you, bro.
Name is Dominic, little donkey you never see him kick. His bisonos he could be Because the reindeer cannot climb the hills of Italy. Hey, jiggity jig. It's Dominic the donkey. Jiggity jig. The Italian Christmas donkey. La la la. La 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 la. La la la. La 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 la. Welcome back.
I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'm gonna get the fuck up out of here. Shit, I'm out.
We lost Vic. All right, let's talk trailers.
Yep.
We have 3 trailers to discuss.
3? There's 2.
I said add Black Panther.
Oh.
So let's do that first. Have you guys seen the new Black Panther trailer?
I think
where he's like jumping on cars and shit.
So good.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we talked about that.
What?
Vic,
How the fuck are you gonna spend 2 seconds talking about the black man and fucking Avengers? I'm fucking protesting this bullshit. God damn it!
You're giving us a drum roll.
Get my sound.
That anticipation of your protesting.
That's racist.
Okay. Well, what did you want to talk about, Vic?
All right, so it was a really good trailer.
He didn't have shit.
Yeah, I think we already covered that.
Honestly, here's the deal. So I really think that this is going to open the door for, like, I don't know why, and honestly, it's I don't think it's because they're racist or the movie industry is racist in general, but I think that they've always had this idea that you can't have a superhero movie with a black man as the lead and have a lot of people interested in the story.
Hancock.
But and that did not do well. Thank you. And that wasn't really a very well known superhero thing either. But like, there's a lot of superheroes in both DC and Marvel that could come out, because what this does well, I feel like it's gonna actually give people a little more emphasis to maybe try it. Because, like, you could do a Cyborg movie and it'd probably be pretty good, but I don't think they want to try it because they don't think it'll carry. And I think that this is going to prove that that it will definitely carry and cross boundaries rather than just be like, oh, it's another it's Tyler Perry movie of superheroes. It's not going to be like that.
Okay,
awesome.
I'm almost certain it's going to do well. It's going to be so well. Do you think, based on that, they decide to go the route, if they kill off Captain America, they bring over Anthony Mackie to take the role of Captain America in the next movie?
I mean,
because in the comics, Falcon has
Falcon does take over, but there's several other people who take over for Captain America too before Falcon actually does it. So I don't think directly that they would do that. Again, he's too big of a face for them to just be like, oh yeah, now. I don't think he has the ability. I don't think Falcon has the same pull as he does to be that character. It's going to sideline the character, I think. So I don't think they'll do it. But too many people in love with him as Captain America.
Hey Vic, is this at all a possibility?
What's that?
Maybe it's not that they don't think, like, maybe it's not they don't trust a black lead, superhero movie. Maybe it's kind of like Vanilla Ice with white rappers, where it's like people had to wait a while before they would accept it again. Maybe it's like that with Steel or Meteor Man. Like maybe Robert Townsend and Shaq fucked it up for a lot of people.
I mean, they definitely did, but again, it's the industry not taking that character archetype seriously.
Is the most
like they went with the shittiest version of all of those superheroes to possibly use.
Is the most,
rather than taking someone like Black Lightning and making him an actual movie character instead of just a TV role. Like, that character is a very strong character for them to use. And they could do a number of things with it, but they just like, we'll put it on TV instead of in cinema. So, is the most successful black superhero of all time Blank Man?
All right, so now can we move on to the next one, Vic?
Yeah. Now you're clear.
Avengers,
Infinity War.
Infinity War.
What do you think is up with Thor's eye?
What do you mean? He got it taken out.
When?
What?
When?
During the last movie.
Have you not seen the newest
No,
Thor?
I saw the last Thor.
Did I
miss the part where
Fraggle Rock?
Are they going to bring his eye back?
Thor Fraggle Rock. I did not see one goddamn Muppet in that whole movie.
Anyway, Vic.
He's the new Odin One Eye.
Oh. Does that happen in the comics? Does
Odin One Eye.
Yeah.
It does. Okay. Yeah, I was a little confused by that.
Who dies in this?
In Infinity War?
Yeah, Vic, who's your picks?
Hawkeye.
Who you do not see
Vision?
in this trailer at all.
Vision.
You know who I think is going to live?
Who?
Yeah.
Jingity jing, the Italian Christmas donkey.
I think Dominic makes it.
Okay.
I think fucking Hulk's gonna crush that dog.
No, for real, I think I've read some things like online or whatever. Like,
no. If you get spoilers, don't say that.
No,
shit.
well, I mean, it's people speculating.
Yeah, it's
All right, if it's speculation, that's fine.
Yeah, people think Spider-Man's gonna be saved by Iron Man, and Iron Man was gonna die. I think that's why, like that scene where he's looking up all serious or whatever. He puts the Iron Man suit on Spider-Man to get him off that planet, and then dies. I've seen that. Like Spider-Man's about to be killed by, Thanos, and Robert Downey Jr. saves him, puts the Iron Man suit on him, flies it off the planet, and then sacrifices himself. And that's how he's kind of written out of the Marvel Universe as Iron Man.
I don't know about that.
It's a little rough. I mean, he's a cornerstone to the brand, so I don't know.
I mean, I don't think he's got many movies
I feel
left
like
on his
you
contract.
have. I feel like if anyone's gonna die, it's gonna be a bunch of the fucking Guardians of the Galaxy.
By the way, I want to talk to you guys about. We might have talked about this on WrestleMania, maybe.
Well,
maybe not. So, my thing is like, to me, this movie is going to show why Marvel has been so much better at this than DC. Because basically, so when Justice League came out, I don't think people were that excited because it's like there's no connection to most of the characters. Most of the main characters have been introduced in this series of movies, right? And have not been around for very long. Whereas with the Avengers, Iron Man, Captain America, even Spider-Man, they've all been
built up.
They've all built that connection in previous films. So when you see them put all of the top famous actors playing those movies together, it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's like a dream team. But when you see the DC version, it's all mostly new people, so you're just kind of like,
there's no connection to
they're doing it completely backwards. So they're starting out with the collaboration, and then they're each going off and making their own record.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work that way. You're like, oh well, this is kind of cool, but I don't know if I really like that guy or not. I don't know who he is really. I mean, you throw somebody to the general public like Cyborg, Flash is. I mean, the storylines behind them are known, but you throw those characters in there without giving any kind of context to their backstory until you actually see that movie. You don't really care. You have no real connection to those characters because you don't have anything to build off of. And
with
that's
Cyborg, you have a half-hour connection before you're supposed to be cheering for him.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's impossible to really do that because you don't really know the characters. And if you really don't know the characters because you don't follow comic books at all.
Dude, I thought he was an asshole for the first hour.
You have no idea what the hell's going on. So... Yeah. Like, okay, so you have this guy who lives in the water and talks to fish, and
how did he get that way?
Why should I like this guy? And they're like, oh well, we'll make you like him because we'll put Jason Momoa in there. Like that's really the only thing you have. You're like, oh, I like him from Game of Thrones, so I guess I gotta like him in this. And it's really not. There's no way to really connect to those characters to me, to give a reason to really be endeared to them or really care what the fuck happens. And then they're going to turn around and make individual movies and you're like, oh, now I get it. I understand what's going on. And I know it's going to draw all the shit from this movie. And they're going to say, oh, well, he did this in that movie. And then it's going to kind of explain it in the thing. Like, why are you doing it backwards? films. Like, I know you don't want to follow the same archetype and story structure as Marvel, but I think doing it backwards was just a mistake.
But I think that's dumb. Why wouldn't you follow the successful formula?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I mean, is
exactly.
it that important to you that you don't want to look like you're copying off of them? It's fucking entertainment. Like, it's just, that's how it should be done. That's not their trademark.
To use Vic's analogy of getting a collaboration and then everybody going to do their own albums, DC was trying to be like Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang put out an album, and then everybody put out their own albums, but it's not going to work for DC.
What's more likely to happen? The DC movies get significantly better, or the Marvel movies get significantly worse? If you had to bet on one of those things happening, what would you bet on?
So I'm going to bet on DC getting worse.
No.
No, it's DC getting better.
It's DC getting significantly better or Marvel getting significantly worse. That's what makes it tough, Vic. I asked you the question for the opposite ends of the spectrum as to where they are now.
But here's the problem. We're speculating, right? But there's something that you have to remember is being thrown in there. Marvel is currently getting ready to buy back all of its IPs, which means their story arcs and their structure can get 10 times better than it already is because they have all these other characters that are going to be able to put into the storylines and create whole new movies after, and that's going to give them a leg up. So I don't see them going backwards at all. And as far as, seeing whether or not DC is able to get significantly better, I don't feel like that's even possible for them to do because Wonder Woman is the best thing that they've done so far, right? So that movie, to me, kind of set the bar for them, and everything that they've done so far has been below that bar, before and after it. Like, they're not hitting that mark, and I don't see any way for them to hit it the way that they're going. So I can't answer that question. I can't give you an answer to that question that's going to be believable coming from my mouth.
I'm not actually making you bet on this.
No, I understand. I'm just saying, like,
for the purpose of the show, you can give us an answer.
But in my mind, I can't because I've already thought about this, and it's going to go in the opposite direction for both of those storylines.
I think
like they're going to be able to. DC's going to be able to pad. They're going to be able to pad and add some new stuff into it because they're already starting to talk about.
you should be able to answer the question. It's a tough question at that. I'll give you, but that's what the whole point. Like, it's
DC's going to get a little bit better, but not significant.
So do you think they're going to?
That's the only thing I can tell you.
So you think DC will get? You think DC will have a bigger gap of getting better than Marvel will of getting worse?
Yes.
So you think there's absolutely no chance Marvel gets worse, but DC could get better?
No. Yes. Hold on.
He says yes, and so do I.
About DC getting significantly better.
Yeah.
Is a more likely thing than Marvel getting significantly worse.
Thing than DC.
Yeah, I don't see Marvel getting worse anytime soon. Especially if that deal goes through. That deal goes through.
Sony, if they get Sony's IP, if they get their IPs back from Sony, there's no way in hell they're not going to control the superhero movie market forever.
It'd be unbelievable. They'd have Deadpool back. They'd have X-Men back. They've had Fantastic Four.
They'd have Fantastic Four back. They have and alone is having.
Okay.
Just having the X-Men back.
First of all,
throw them to the roof.
Worst order you could have said that in.
It doesn't.
They'll have Deadpool. They'll have the X-Men and the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
The one of the most successful characters of all time. One of the most successful franchises of all time. 2 failed movies. I was interested. I was interested when I found out Deadpool and X-Men, but I got excited when I found out that Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Bitch and The Rock. How does The Rock not play that character, by the way?
Despite your argument, the Fantastic Four actually has some really good potential storylines and really good things that can happen if it's done correctly, and Marvel can probably do it right.
Yeah.
So it's not a foregone demise of a thing. They're not going to bury it.
Well, let me ask you this: so if they revamp X-Men, man, you got to feel bad for whoever gets chosen to play Wolverine.
No, because when they revamp X-Men, what's his name? Well, Hugh Jackman will be like, well, maybe I won't.
Yeah, he'll come back.
Wait, it's back with Marvel?
Man, he should, though, because they ended it perfectly in Logan.
I just saw what you did with all the other Marvel superheroes. Now I'm going to be a Marvel superhero and that kind of money and that story. I'm back.
Yeah.
He's got buried, and after he died, his body regenerated and made him younger. And then you're just gonna see an arm with 3 claws come out of the ground, and it's gonna be like the end trailer of one of the movies, like have the after credits. You're just gonna see his arm come out of that grave and
just
cut that cross apart. Yeah, it's gonna cut the cross apart as he does it. The X.
Yeah.
It's gonna cut it apart, and then they're gonna fade to black, and then we're gonna know he's back, and then they're gonna have that whole storyline. So I've already thought it out.
All right, let's move on to Ready Player One.
Oh,
Vic, tell us what you thought about this trailer.
So, I read the book to start out with, and everything in this trailer is so reminiscent of what I would imagine you could do with those scenes, and it's going to be fucking epic. If this movie fails, I will happily listen to Dominic the Donkey for every intro and outro of next year's holiday songs. I will sing the fucking song along with you if this movie does.
Keep in mind, we are recording this.
And if the movie does great, like I know it's going to, you can never play Dominic the Donkey.
Nope. Not making that bet. Nope. No.
And I'm cutting that part out.
But no, I really do think it's going to be an excellent movie. Just the bits that I've seen, the characters and the character portrayals of them, and the way they've done it in the trailers. The music for this, like not listening. The book itself talks about the music that they're using, so it literally has a built-in soundtrack in the book because they use a lot of stuff from music and like different things in the story to build on how they're doing the story. So it's got a built-in soundtrack, and the soundtrack is fucking phenomenal. And what they've done with it already is just crazy.
Yeah, I wasn't too sold on the first trailer that got released. I was like, what the hell did I just watch? Didn't get it. That's
because you don't know the story.
Exactly. And again, that's not my fault. I didn't know the story, but that's the way they build it. This one, I'm a little bit more interested. I'm not,
Wait, that is your fault.
Because I don't know the story?
If you don't understand the trailer because you didn't read the story, yeah, that's your fault.
But the thing is, the trailer could be created to, introduce people that don't understand.
Hold on.
I thought they did.
Here's the deal, though, Corey.
What didn't you understand? What didn't you understand about the movie after the first trailer?
What the hell was going on?
Okay, so
all you didn't know about was the Easter egg. In the first trailer, you still understand that it's a future world where everything's gone to shit and nobody has a good house, so they all go to the Oasis, which is like a virtual world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And shit gets crazy with pop culture references.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So all you didn't know about was the Easter egg.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't get it. What's the point of the movie?
Just seeing the pop culture references involved, you go, oh, what the hell? That's the DeLorean from, like, all of those pop culture references that were in there, like, that should have alone been like, this is actually worth kind of trying to see what's going on there.
Yeah.
Because it's literally just chock full of it right from the start. You have the Akira motorcycle. Everyone knows what fucking Akira is. You have Bigfoot. You have the DeLorean from... Yeah, you have King Kong in there. Like, everything in there talks
Freddy?
to you about pop reference. Like,
Freddy Krueger was in there. And the Iron Giant.
You know what I did see in this video, and I'm not sure I'm going to have to go back and watch it again, but I really thought that I saw one of the characters from Overwatch in it. And if I did, I'm going to be mad about that.
Why?
Very mad about it. Because it makes no sense for it to be referenced in there.
Oh, because it's not an 80s
None whatsoever. Yeah, because it wasn't around back then. They shouldn't do it. And if they're doing it, they're just doing it to pander towards pop culture reference for current time, not for the time set of the actual story. And that's kind of annoying to me.
Boom! All right. Another episode in the books. And how about Jingle Bells to take us home?
As if it'll be Jingle Bells.
I didn't say the song Jingle Bells. I just meant there would be bells jingling. Thank you for listening. We will be back. You're going to get a bonus episode this week, right?
What? No.
No?
We're saving that one.
Oh, my God, we're so lazy. All right, we'll see you next week with another Christmas classic. You're listening to the Showdown Podcast.
Merry Christmas.
When Santa visits his paisans with Dominic, he'll be because the reindeer
Can I climb the hills of Italy? Hey, jiggy-dee-jig.
Corey, you missed your cue.
My nose is red, buddy. Don't melt.